How's everybody doing? Today is June 8th, and today we're going to talk about my thoughts on the market. So we're going to start with national versus local statistics. We're going to look at the NAR affordability index. We're going to look at NAR forecast. We're going to look at new home sales, Arizona stats, Tucson stats. And at the end, if you wait all the way till the end of the video, you'll get to hear my prediction, my 6-month prediction, and my 1-year prediction. The first thing we're going to talk about today is going to be national statistics versus local statistics. So a lot of the headlines that you're seeing are national headlines. Those national headlines, of course, average out a California market, a New York market, along with an Arizona market, and pretty much all the markets averaged out. So it's very difficult to know what's actually happening in the real estate market that you're in if you're looking at national stats. So I tend to not look at them too deeply, but we're still going to look at them today so you guys get a sense of what I'm talking about. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get right to it. The first document we're going to look at is the NAR Affordability Index. This is the National Association of Realtors Housing Affordability Index. This is measuring the relationship between how much people can afford and how much it costs to actually be able to afford housing or to be able to live in a house. So as you can see, in 2019, people were using about 15.7% of their income in order to be able to pay for their mortgage. Then in 2020, it went down to 14.7, and then it went up 2021 to 16.3. So this is what people are kind of freaking out about right now, is that since this is going up, they're saying, hey, how can people continue to buy houses if the affordability, gets worse and worse? As you can see, the first, at the beginning of the year in 2021, and by 2022, we're at 20%. So when you average out the 2022 numbers, you'll see that it ends up averaging out about 16.3. So we'll see where that leads to at the end. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are saying that the market is going to crash and prices are going to go down. But again, this is national numbers. They're not local numbers. So every single market is going to be different. So you have to look at what your local market is doing and get the statistics from there and make a better educated decision that way. So the next thing we're going to look at is NAR forecasts. So NAR forecasts are pretty much what National Association of Realtors data is looking at. So you can see the history here and then what they think is going to happen. So the thing that's probably most relative to us, let's start with interest rates. So interest rates were as low as 2.9 in the first quarter of 2021, and now second quarter of 2022, they're about 5.1. They're actually a little bit higher, 5.2. So they're thinking that we're still going to see interest rates go up here for the next couple of quarters. All the way right now, they're only forecasting to 2023. Which is about the second quarter of 2023, which is a year, and they're forecasting that interest rates are going to be at 5.4%. As far as what they think is going to happen to home prices, which a lot of people who are homeowners, you guys would be interested in this. We were at 300, and this is thousands of dollars, obviously. So the median home price was $313,000 back in the first quarter. So now we're at $361,000 as the median. And so they're thinking that we're going to still go up to $384. Then we're going to start to take a dip in the third quarter of 2022, which is coming up, and the fourth quarter of 2022. So 383,000, then down to 376. And then they're predicting that by the second quarter of 2023, which is a year from now, we're actually going to be at all-time highs for median home prices. And they're predicting the same thing for new home prices. So that's interesting to see. They're thinking that we're going to go through a little bit of a bumpy road here, for the next couple of quarters, which is not too far away from what I think as well. And I'll share that with you guys towards the end. So the next thing that we're going to look at is going to be the National Builders Association statistics. So you guys can all look at this, NAHB, if you guys want to look at it. But they look at lumber prices. So as you can see, lumber prices kind of in the last year hit a high in March of 2022. And it looks like, as you can see, we're starting to to stabilize in lumber prices. So lumber prices aren't as bad, but remember, in building a house, there's not just lumber, there's also windows, there's roofing material. So one of the reasons why a lot of these buildings are taking so long is because sometimes if the windows are delayed, it causes everybody else to be delayed. So all it takes is one of the materials to be delayed, and it'll delay the whole build because everything goes in steps. So when you look at this, this is a housing, what's called the housing market index. And this, what it does is it kind of measures how builders feel about the market. So they were pretty much at peak in November of 2020. They felt really good about it. Of course they did. There was no inventory. Everybody was doing great. We didn't know that we were going to have lumber shortages and all that at that time. So we kind of stabilized. And right now it's looking like the sentiment is going down, which means that they're getting a little bit afraid. And the reason why this is happening is because of interest rates. Whenever we have, an expectation of interest rates rising, builders tend to not do so well because their timeframes are so far out. So whenever they're a year or a year and a half out, it makes people a little bit hesitant to get into a situation where they don't know what the interest rate is going to be. So that's the reason why this is happening. As far as housing starts are concerned, so how many houses are they actually starting? So we hit a peak again in November, December of 2020. And right now we look pretty stable. So I don't see any problems with how many housing starts we're having right now. So all that looks fairly normal, contrary to what kind of everybody is saying in the media. All right, so next we're going to look at the local statistics. So now let's look at Arizona statistics to begin with. We'll start with sales price. So here, this is a system that we have that realtors get access to. So we get to look at, statistics pretty much live time. So as you can see, the sales price, we hit a bottom in 2012. This is the biggest drop that we've ever seen. So we hit a bottom. We've been on an up and to the right ever since. So right now, it looks like from May to April, we still had a growth in pricing. If you look at days on the market is still low. So before we start seeing prices go down, we're actually going to see properties stay on the market for a longer period of time. So this would be a leading indicator for pricing. So we'll be paying attention to this, and hopefully I give you guys more than one video every 6 months. So new listings, again, we would see a lot more listings if we were going to see prices go down. Right now, that looks all stable. Again, we're talking about Arizona right now. Month supply, we're still at all-time lows. We're still under 1 month of supply. Homes for sale, we got a little bit of an uptick here from April to May, but not really something significant, not anything that I would worry about. Percentage of list price, again, we're still at the top. Everybody's getting 100% of what they're asking for right now, if not more. So again, we'll see, 2012, you were not getting, 100% of list price. Pending sales. So right now, usually we always hit a peak in March. If you notice, almost every single peak is around this time. April, March. So we already hit our peak. It wasn't as nice as the last peak in pending sales, but now we'll see how low it goes. So now we're going to see pending sales go down probably until December, and we'll see how low we go, and that it would be a good indicator as well for what's about to happen. Closed sales, we're seeing pretty much normal activity as far as closed sales. We always hit a peak around March or April, just like we did this year. And so now we'll see how this goes, but this isn't looking too scary to me, guys. I'm not really worried about prices going down whenever I'm seeing things like this. Dollar volume. So this is always going to go up because as prices go up, there's going to be more dollar volume. So that'll always kind of go up. So let's look at Tucson. So Tucson, we're seeing a lot of the same stuff. Nothing really changes. We're also a really hot market. We're days on market is 5 days on market. Just like we've been here for the last couple of years. New listings, we're not seeing a huge uptick in new listings. We should have seen more new listings here. We didn't see it. So that means that, prices can't really go down whenever we don't have any new listings. We need to see more sellers than buyers for prices to go down. So as long as we're still seeing not very many sellers, then prices won't really go down. Homes for sale, all that looks pretty healthy as far as, continuing to go in the trajectory that we're going in. Percentage of list price. So we saw us go up above 100, and look, again, we're going up above 100 again right now in May. So even though, everybody's saying the market's going to go down, the stats are just not showing it. at least not here locally. Pending sales all look normal. So we're still, as you can see, we're consolidating here. The swings are getting closer and closer apart, so that just shows that the real estate market is pretty strong right now. So I don't really see, I can't really see prices going down if we see this happen. Closed sales, all that is staying within our ranges. Whenever we're in a softer market, when prices were going down, we saw bigger swings, and we also saw a lot less closed sales. So there was only, in 2010, there was only 587 sales. So fast forward to the beginning of this year, and we're looking at 1,000, so double the amount. So anyway, now we get to my prediction. So what I'm thinking is going to happen here in the next 6 months, I do believe that interest rates are going to go up. I think they're actually going to go up higher than what the NAR stats or the forecasts are saying. I think we'll probably see 6.5% interest rate hike. I still think, based on our market, the way we are, I cannot see us go down in price as far as, home values are concerned. So I'm guessing that we're probably going to see about a 5% gain. I don't want to get too bullish here because we don't know how much interest rates are going to go up, but nonetheless we're still going to go up. And then as far as 1 year, I think that will stabilize in interest rates. I don't think that they'll be able to keep interest rates this high. I think they'll end up having to drop interest rates again, and therefore making mortgage interest rates drop as well. So I think that we're probably going to be somewhere around a 5.5. With interest rates going down, if interest rates go from 6.5 to 5.5, we'll see a larger gain in home pricing. So I'm guessing that it's probably going to be about a 10% gain. Remember that we've had 25% growth for 2 years. So I just don't think that we'll be able to do that again, but I don't think that we're going to be able to drop in price because we just don't have enough inventory. So if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, this is one of my favorite subjects of all time. I love talking about it. Give me a call. I'm always happy to have a chat about it, and send us a message, direct message, or give us a call, and we are happy to help with any buying or selling. Have a great day.